The NBA, it's back. The All-Star break, a little bit longer this year than normal. I don't know this for sure. I don't remember exactly how long it was last year, nor did I go look it up, but it feels like it was longer this year. And after about a week off, Adam and I are back talking about the NBA injury report, which is sponsored by Yahoo. If you guys want to check out Yahoo for the first time, sign up using the link in the description box below. Head on over to Yahoo, make a deposit, enter a contest, get yourself 1 free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. Now, for tonight's slate, we're coming out of the All-Star break. So in general, players are healthier. So there is nobody who's actually important that's listed as questionable right now, but that doesn't mean that there aren't players who are dealing with longer term injuries that aren't already out. Starting with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Caris LeVert, he's going to be out for the next couple weeks or so. Darius Garland, he's still dealing with a back injury, so he's not going to be available to play. Adam, where does this create value in the backcourt for Cleveland?
So I'm really interested to see what the starting lineup looks like here. It seems like a lot of places, us included, are expecting Rondo to start. I don't think that's the case, but you could still certainly see more playing time for Rondo. What we saw in the games earlier this year before LeVert was acquired, when Garland was out, was that Brandon Goodwin started all 4 games where Goodwin and Rondo were both available. Goodwin played the bulk of the minutes in 3 of them. And then right around the time you got comfortable that Brandon Goodwin was really the guy, he played 16 minutes. Rondo played like 30 something off the bench. So I expect it to be a situation like that again, where you're probably getting around 48 minutes from those two. Whoever's playing better probably gets the bulk of them. If Brandon Goodwin starts, he'll be higher owned. It makes Rondo a very good tournament play. It makes Goodwin the guy that is going to project a little bit better. If Rondo starts, then vice versa. Although I will say, if Rondo starts, I'm more confident in Rondo than I am in Goodwin if Goodwin starts, just because for one, Rondo's the better point per minute guy, but for two, it would signal a change in what the Cavs are doing, and it would make me think that like they're basically signaling, okay, Rondo is the guy that's running point. Goodwin, I assume, would be the backup in that case, but like you could have Chetty running like backup point for all that we know. So I will say that I think that if Rondo starts, I'm more confident in him than I am in Goodwin if Goodwin starts.
Yeah, and we even saw the first game that Garland got ruled out when all of this started, which was, I don't know, probably like 3 weeks ago or something now. They actually started Chetty at point guard that first game. It went
Yeah.
terrible, so they're not going to do that again, but it is something that at least has been an option they've gone to in the past. The next injury situation here, we've got Chris Paul. He's out. He ended up injuring his thumb. I'm not exactly sure where it happened, but there was some weird incident right before the All-Star break where he bumped into a ref where he was kind of playing with his thumb. And now we're finding out that Chris Paul is going to be out for the majority of the rest of the regular season. And it was a play he actually ended up getting ejected for also by bumping into the ref where he was trying to figure out what was wrong with his thumb. But that aside, with Chris Paul out, I have to assume Devin Booker is going to play a bigger role. So how do you view Booker, and who are the value pieces that step up for Phoenix?
So I think Booker ends up looking like one of the best plays on the slate tonight. We don't have any sort of real sample of him playing without Chris Paul, like entire games recently. He's only done it once this year. But if you just look at his rates without Paul on the floor, his usage rate this year goes up about 3 points when Chris Paul's not out there. His assist percentage goes up like 6 to 8 points. And it's just a situation where, even though I assume that there's going to be a de facto point guard out there in Aaron Holiday or Elfrid Payton, I think that Booker's still going to have the ball in his hands a ton, especially if this game's competitive at all down the stretch. And that leads to not only the increased assist opportunities, but increased usage, just because Devin Booker doesn't have to get the ball from anyone. He's already going to have it. He can just decide to shoot. So I think it makes Booker look great. But I think it also does open up that value where, kind of similar to the Cleveland situation, I don't know who's going to start here. My guess is Aaron Holiday at 3,700. You have Elfrid Payton at 3,400. Payton's the better point per minute guy. Holiday is the guy that I think they probably prefer to kind of just fit in seamlessly and be out there. But if Holiday starts, he's going to get a ton of ownership, deservedly so, at 3,700. But it's going to open the door for a low-owned Payton to potentially just, ruin everyone's slate and create some leverage. And then vice versa, if Payton starts, it's going to lower Holiday's ownership. You also potentially could get like Landry Shamet in the starting lineup and Booker just at point guard or something like that. But assuming that one of the point guards start, I think the point guard situation is very similar to the Cleveland situation. The difference being that Cleveland doesn't have a 2 guard that's going to just dominate the touches regardless.
All right, the final situation to hit on here is going to be the Portland Trailblazers. First, guys, do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out all of the shows that we're going to be doing later in the day, deeper dive, live before lock, because we'll have a better idea on what some of these starting lineups are going to be looking like. But the Portland Trailblazers, this is a team that's been really shorthanded for a little while now. Ever since Damian Lillard got hurt, this was a team that was really kind of trying to be sellers at the trade deadline. So Dame gets hurt. They trade CJ McCollum. They trade Norman Powell. They get back Eric Bledsoe, but he's been hurt. Now we have Jusuf Nurkic dealing with a foot injury. I don't expect him to play for the rest of the season. I just look at this starting line and think all of the shots in the world are probably going to be going to Anthony Simons. He's already been carrying a really heavy usage rate as of late. Do you see it the same way with Simons? And who else stands out with this new look Blazers team?
Yeah, I see it the same way with Simons. The concern is efficiency for him. He has about a 46% true shooting percentage without Lillard, McCollum, Nurkic on the floor this year, but he has a 30% usage rate. I think the sky's the limit as far as ceiling goes. He's going to get every opportunity on this team. Teams like this do scare me to some extent because they start to have, ulterior motives as far as who they want to get minutes to. One thing Josh and I were talking about this morning is like you have Keon Johnson probable. He hasn't played since January 9th, so I'm not expecting him to play a huge role yet. But sooner than later, I think they're going to start just giving Keon Johnson minutes over pretty much anybody, because why wouldn't they? He's young. They want to see what they have there. You could, see something similar. Maybe Greg Brown starts playing a little bit more at some point. It's why I'm assuming Watford starts. I think that if this were a team that really cared about winning games right now, maybe they would do things a little bit more creative than just say, hey, you're the biggest guy on the team, go play center. But they want Watford out there anyway, I would assume. So why not just have him become the starting center? So I think you get a lot of usage for Simons. I think Hart and Winslow play bigger roles as well. But then I think you're going to, just see a lot of minutes for a really cheap Trendon Watford, potentially some extra Greg Brown minutes, stuff like that. So definitely a team to pay attention going forward, because I think that you're going to start seeing this team give minutes to guys that that they haven't necessarily been giving them to.
All right, that is going to do it for us today. A little bit of an abbreviated NBA injury report, but the players get time to get healthy when there's a full week off. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, check out everything else we have on the channel later in the day. Locks before lock, deeper dive, live before lock, and good luck tonight.